DC here. Hi guys. Okay, this is my answer to Melissa's video, Two Truths and a Lie. Okay, let's try it. There goes my computer fan again. It's getting pretty annoying actually every time I do something with the webcam. That's the truth. That's not one of the two though. Okay, well, as you know, in Switzerland there's a lot of mountains. There's also actually a lot of caves. And I was hiking with some friends, and we all had our backpacks on, and we were going through this mountain pass. And a friend of mine actually is a guide in the mountains, you know, so he brings us along. And he said, well, there's this cave actually that is usually closed off to people, but he knew how to get into it. And the fact is that this cave was very interesting because you could actually cut through a large part of the mountain. There had been some mining done there at one time, and a lot of it was still not actually explored. But if you kept along the main path, you could actually go through the mountain and come out the other side. It was actually a bit similar. I don't know if any of you have actually read The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. You know, I mean, so we went into this cave. There was these really big gates, but you could go through them. Funnily enough, actually, there was these stairs into the mountain wall if you didn't want to go into the cave, which actually looked more scary than going into the cave. Now, I am not a cave person, but I was being guided by my friends. And so actually I thought, okay, well, you know, I can go through that. So here we are going along, and we had headlamps, and we were walking along. So my friend, like I say, he's really into this, so he went on ahead. And he said, I'll just help you go along. He got pretty enthusiastic and was going on quite a bit. And I was following up, and then at one point I had the backpack, and I was crawling. At one point we had to crawl through something really, really small. And I got stuck. I got stuck in the cave. I couldn't go either forward, I couldn't go backwards, and my light ran out. I was in the dark, and well, that's just it. I mean, I was like, you know, scared to death. My friend was in front of me. He didn't actually realize at first that I wasn't following, and he just kept on. And I was like that for quite a while, until eventually he noticed that I wasn't talking anymore. Which, of course, I guess is something as such, you know, I'm not talking, you know, I guess there's something wrong. I'm either sick or dead. And he couldn't find me, and I stayed in that cave, actually, for over almost a day, and was completely terrified. And I've never been able to go into caves again. I will see a hole in the ground and I just freeze. Now, it's a very terrifying experience if you've ever gone through that. Okay, that's one story. The second one, okay. When I met my wife, actually I'll tell you how I met her. Neighbor of mine organized a party, and there was this really beautiful girl, blonde, really lovely girl, and believe it or not, she was alone. And my neighbor had asked me if I would like to accompany this girl, and I said, yeah, of course. I mean, of course I'd like to. I couldn't believe this girl was alone. Disclaimer, the girl was not my wife, but about an hour or something before the party, my neighbor comes over and says, I got some really bad news for you. I said, what? He said, well, your guest, well, your blind date, or I wasn't blind date, I knew her actually, but he said, cannot come. And I was really annoyed in a way because I was really, really looking forward to this. I'm like 15, and I guess the hormones are going really mad. You know the way it is. You've all gone through that period as well, haven't you? And then she said to me, I've fixed something up nevertheless. She said, I did know another girl. I hadn't invited her first, but I called her up, and she decided to come. She didn't want to at first, but she's going to come anyway. And will that do? And I thought, my goodness, and I was like, what is this? Like, this is a real blind date. Somebody didn't want to invite, and now I'm going to have to go out with this girl and spend the whole evening. One of the best evenings of my life. I really had a great time. We danced, we walked, and when my dad actually, that's not quite right. Actually, my neighbor's dad brought us all back home. She lived in the countryside, and I was going to give her a little kiss, just a little peck, to say goodbye. Don't forget, this is a long time ago. And she ran away. She didn't want me to kiss her on the first date. And I ended up marrying her. Okay, second story. Third story. When I was quite a small boy, we used to play a lot cowboys and Indians. We used to play at war and so on. And it was one of these daily routines in the summer vacation. My family was a dog family. We had dogs. It's only later on as an adult that I ended up having a cat, which sadly passed away for different reasons. Excuse me. And so, but my neighbors, some of them were cat families. And those cats were always getting into our garbage. And my dad would get really annoyed. At one point I thought, nope, I'm going to take care of this cat once and for all. So I lured the cat into the garage with the help of one of my neighbors. We grabbed the cat, we put him into a butter churn, we turned him around, buttered him up, if you could call it that way. We were giving him a good lesson not to come into our garbage anymore. Put him in a can and said we'll leave him there for a few minutes. Then I wasn't able to open the can. You can see the rest. I'm a murderer. Yes, I'm a murderer. So that's the third story. Which is the lie? Which are the two truths? Hey, it's your job, isn't it, to find that out? Have fun, take care. This was my answer to Melissa's tag. EC signing off.